to open with questions.
Paul, have you ever been in a situation like this where the team kind of blows back-to-back big leads like that?
Not that I remember. No, not that not 2 weeks in a row. You know, I think it's a little bit of two-phased. I think one, our guys have done a great job. Our assistant coach has done a great job of preparation. I think we really prepared for games, had a great plan, went in there, we're ready to play right off the bat, and that's why we've gotten the leads. And you know, for that, I applaud them. You know, I applaud them. I applaud the assistant coaches. You know, you warming up in that game, looking at South Alabama's players, and they look like a SEC team talent-wise. You know, so that part of it, you applaud them a ton. You know, and then just some. You know, we just in the second half. Is it a little bit of lack of depth? You know, do we get worn out a little bit? Is it just still not being able to make the play when it is a very crucial situation? That's what we got to just keep working on to address.
You said that game would be a test of your leadership and toughness. How'd you guys grade out in that aspect?
I thought our leadership and toughness was great. You know, I thought the leadership, because what you're worried about in the leadership part is getting ready to play. You know, are they going to come out and play right off the bat and be ready to play? And I thought our leaders did a great job of getting everybody ready to play. You know, I thought our toughness was good. Our guys played tough in that game. We didn't turn down hits. Our physicality was great. Where we killed ourselves was, you know, a couple huge plays we give up the special teams, and then just here and there where we don't. Third quarter, a couple third downs that we didn't convert on offense, and then the fourth quarter when we cut it to 7 twice, and we don't stop them and give us a chance to go tie it and go into overtime. So, but as far as just the guys that played on the field, to be honest with you, I think they were warriors. You know, they played a ton of snaps. We don't really have many subs. I thought they battled their hearts out.
Is what you've seen these past 2 weeks fixable going forward?
Yeah, I think we just keep working on it, you know, and keep improving. But I think what we've also seen in the last 2 weeks tells you how much farther we've came along in the program. You know, and then the amount of points that we've scored in the last 2 weeks, you know, the yards that we've rolled up is a great. You know, you got a whole bunch of guys coming back on offense, and so I think that's a great light at the end of the tunnel of where we can get to, I guess is the best way to put it.
Did you do something different with Deion Watson to really get him matchups where he can make big plays?
You know, we just try to move him around. Sometimes you pick a certain corner that you're going to go after, and sometimes some people have been rolling certain coverages to Deion to try to stop some of the things we were doing to him earlier. So then we try to do a few different things to get him the ball in this game. But Deion did a great job getting himself ready to play. Had a couple of really good releases and just did a nice job. Had a good game.
Another kind of gutsy performance from Matt.
A great performance from Matt. You know, I mean, he's thrown for 300 yards 2 weeks in a row. Made big time runs, and you know, really, if you went from coming out of fall camp without his top 3 receivers, you know, so I just think certain guys like that. I mean, Quentin Bradley couldn't have played any better. I mean, you talk about playing your heart out. He led us in tackles, and a lot of those tackles were down the field with unbelievable effort and hustle. And you know, there's a handful of guys like that, to be honest with you, it breaks your heart. They played good enough to win. Now we just got to get, you know, right now we're playing with about, 29 guys. Got to get all 29 guys to do that the whole time.
You mentioned Matt and I have his top 3 receivers. Can you talk about the value of Trent and Deion?
Huge. You know, Trent and Deion have been so big. I think their leadership, their toughness, their belief in themselves and in each other, and even just their confidence on the sideline and the confidence that they bring to the field, and they believe they're going to go make the play, especially in crucial situations. So, you know, Trent and Deion have been just really, really big here lately.
You think without Des, maybe it's allowed Matt to build a better rapport with guys like Trent and Deion and even Kellen Hightower the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think he had a good rapport with Trent and Deion already, but I definitely agree with Hightower. I definitely think it's helped him a lot. And in the last 2 weeks, he's had 10 catches and 9 catches, and had a couple big. I mean, his dive and catch on third down is what got the momentum back, switched and going in the third quarter. But it's definitely helped there. And you know, Jonte didn't show up in the game, but he made plays during the week in practice, and he did the week before. And Ruben even making that big catch down the sideline. I think it's helped everybody.
Elijah, 35 carries. Does that kind of just speak to his toughness? Just
Yeah,
week
you
after
can't get
week,
much
right?
tougher than that. 3 weeks in a row carrying the ball over 30 times, you know, and and that's another one of those guys you really felt bad for in the locker room afterwards. But he's been playing his heart out, and you know, it was a shame he's only fumbled once the whole year, you know, and that guy made a good play, put his helmet right on the ball, and that's happened earlier all year, and Elisha's held on to it. So that was, I think he was really beating himself up over that, but he played his heart out and played very well.
Going back to Trenton and Dion, what role do you think their size has played in their effectiveness this season?
I think, you know, they both got stronger and bigger in the off season. I think it's helped them getting off of little jams and guys getting their hands on them. They've lost a little weight here recently. We need to try to get it back up a little bit, but I just think that when they got bigger, sometimes it's hard to convince guys, get stronger and get bigger and you'll get faster. Sometimes guys are worried that when they get bigger that they're going to slow down, but I think by both of those two really working hard to improve their strength, they both got faster this offseason, and I think that's really, really helped them both.
In terms of mismatches against other secondaries, do they pose the
They do. You know, I think where they hurt people is if you put a big linebacker on them, they're faster than them, and then when you put a normal-sized cornerback or safety on them, they're more physical and bigger than them.
Is Appalachian State one of those teams you kind of have to be careful with passing the ball just because they do have a guy with 5 interceptions and one of the better secondaries in the conference?
Yeah, I mean, we got to mix it up on them. You know, if you look at the stats, they lead every category on both sides of the ball. So, you know, that's their boundary corner, number 5. He does a good job. You know, Blair, that's probably the guy that worries you the most, though. 49, the defensive lineman, he's a really good player. 88's a good linebacker. You know, then offensively, they're quarterback and running back. So they got good players all across the board, but you definitely got to know where number 5's at all times. And he does a good job in zone coverage, tricking the quarterback into thinking a zone's open and then breaking on the ball, and he has really good ball skills and picking the ball off.
Well, when did you decide Dez wasn't going to rejoin the team?
You know, that was just something that we had talked about, and we made the final decision on Sunday. You know, we made our statement, and I wish Dezmon all the best in the world, and you always have a very special place in my heart, and I'll do anything I can for him. But you know, that's where we stand, and that's kind of the end of it. Let's just talk about the guys that are playing now.
Did you see maybe a blueprint to beating App State? Maybe in the past 2 weeks, I know they beat Troy, but you know, it took a few overtimes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you look at the last 2 games, people had a lot more success against them than anyone had up to that point. And, you know, so we've been studying that hard in here. I actually started watching it on the plane ride home. Studied it hard Sunday and Monday and all day today so far. So I think we're coming up with a real good plan. I think we'll have a good plan, and we just got to go out there and execute it.
Did Arkansas State do anything specifically that you think you can mimic?
You know, Arkansas State defensively was just so physical and ran around, got a turnover for a touchdown. Offensively, they ran the ball really well. Some of the runs that they did, not necessarily, you know, some of their quarterback runs, not necessarily or what we do all the time, but there's definitely some things that you can take from both games that can help us.
With 2 tough losses in a row like that, did you just emphasize to your team to just put that behind you and focus on this week so it doesn't carry over?
Yeah, I mean, you got to do that every week. You know, no matter what, no matter if you win or lose, you got to move on to the next week. Kind of this week's been a lot like I said at homecoming. Our seniors have 2 games left in that dome. You know, and those guys have done a great job for us and really worked hard. So we got to go out there and try to do everything we can to get them a win. You know, both of their last 2 home games.
Appalachian State is a team that you've kind of compared your team to. You've said that, you know, last year they really started to pile up some momentum. Have you really studied them the last 2 years to see kind of what they've done to build such a successful program in a short span of time? I
have. You know, I studied them a lot in the off season, and defensively, very very similar schemes. To be honest with you, they just do things right. You know, they got good players that know how to play hard. Obviously, they do a great job of coaching, and you know, they're a team that I like to watch play, and they're a team that I like to study. They run the ball really well. They got a coach's son at quarterback that knows how to take care of the ball, makes big plays, really throws the ball well deep. You know, throws the ball deep. He'll run it when he has to, and they just do a lot of good things.
You anticipate playing Dave or Jacob at all again this year?
Not as of right now, no.
Will Dave be eligible for a red shirt, a medical red shirt?
They both would be as of right now, yeah.
Although he's a senior, would Jay Sean be as well, just playing in 3 games?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You anticipate playing him this year again?
Not as of right now either. It's just been some crazy injuries that have lasted forever, unfortunately, and you know, those could all be a positive thing next year, but they really hurt our depth this year. And where it's really showed up is special teams. You know, Jacob was our best special teams player last year, by far. Jay Sean was a great special teams player. So some of those guys, you know, you always think about it offense and defense, but it's hurt us both depth on offense and defense, but it's really hurt us in the special teams.
Has Dave's status changed since the incident off the field a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, his status right now, you know, we gotta let the legal course take its course, and then he'll be disciplined accordingly. But yeah, you know, he can't play right now regardless. But if he could, he wouldn't be until the legal course took its course.
It was nice to get Grabsky back out there.
It was, and I think he'll be even better this week. You know, I think that first week you come back and you get playing, I think he could really help us this week, and hopefully help us more in special teams also.
With an offense like that, they have a running back who's almost 1,000 yards. Like you said, the quarterback's only turned it over 7 times. How do you kind of bottle up both the run and the pass against a team like that, or do you just have to kind of hope to limit them?
I think you got to stop the run first. That's what they believe in first. You know, you got to stop. They love to run the outside zone with him. They have some nice schemes. You know, I think I said it earlier in the year. When you're watching their offensive line, they're one of the better offensive lines in the conference, if not the best offensive line in the conference. So you have to stop the run first, and then you just got to know they're going to take shots. They're going to throw the ball down the field.
Have you seen your offensive line play better than it has, you know, since you've been here?
No, this is the best our offensive line's played. I think Coach Sinkovich has done an amazing job. Those guys just keep improving, you know, week in and week out, and that's a great thing, especially when you got most all of them coming back.
How important was the move Rose to tackle, you know, to that equation?
I think it helped. You know, I think it helped a lot. The thing about him and Mason is they're a little interchangeable, and there's times in games where we even flip them back and forth. There's times where Rose plays guard, Mason plays tackle, and then they flip-flop. So I just think it helps a lot, and it just helps. They all love football, and they work hard and practice every day, and they just keep improving.
Have you been able to kind of free up Coach Sinkovich's other offensive duties so he can focus more on the offensive line this year?
You know, when you're a position coach and a coordinator, your first thing always is being that position coach anyway. But good thing is we got a lot of, you know, experience on the staff. But no, he still does all his duties.
Anything else?
Good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.